Welcome to the Life Makeovers podcast. My name is Cindy D. Whitmer, and I am the Midlife Makeover Coach, helping you turn your midlife into your best life, one step at a time. Through powerful conversations, my own midlife roller coaster story, and over 3 decades of helping people transform their lives through counseling and coaching, I am on a mission to help you create your own definition of success and happiness. Thank you for being here. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here with me at the Mike Makeovers Midlife Makeover podcast. I'm a little tongue-tied apparently this morning. I hope you're doing well. I recently went to the movie Priscilla, which is the story of Priscilla Presley's relationship with Elvis, or part of it, a glimpse of it. And if you like true stories, or if you were a huge Elvis or Presley's fan, you might want to go to that movie. I think it's very telling, and Priscilla was involved in the making of the movie, which makes me think, oh yeah, I bet it's pretty accurate. But anyway, that's just my opinion. But one of the things that I was struck with while I was watching, because of course, I've been a therapist forever. I've been a coach for a long time, and I'm often working with women to empower themselves, to live with confidence, to, have strong boundaries in their lives, and take charge of their lives, be the leaders in their own lives, and so forth. And Priscilla met Elvis when she was a teenager, a young teenager, actually, and pretty quickly was so enamored with him and he with her that, it appeared anyway that she really let him be in charge of her in a lot of ways. And I think that was part of how she loved him, right? Was to want to please him. And I know that I was like that as well, and still am to a point. So it's an interesting conversation to have with you this morning, because it's like, what is the fine line between loving other people, whether it's a partner, spouse, or whether it's your kids or your best friends or your family or whoever it is? What is the different clients, customers, colleagues, whoever it is? What is the line between loving people, wanting to please them or serve them or support them, and also to feel in charge of yourself, and that it's okay to continuously address your own needs and wants as well in the relationship with that person and in your life? And so that's the trick, right? Is finding that sweet spot where you feel like you're being a loving, supportive person in another person's life that you care about so much or love, and also taking care of yourself in your own life and being healthy in the dynamics involved with the other person and with yourself. And so a lot of this comes down to, what are we willing to do? What are we not willing to do in our relationships or on behalf of our relationships? How do we express our love and care for others, our support? How are we not willing to express that? And when there is a conflict between our own needs and the other person's needs, whose gets addressed, or how is that balanced, and so forth? So those are powerful questions we ask ourselves throughout our lives in relationships. And so I invite you to ask yourself those questions again, especially about any relationship you have in your life, personally based, professionally based, in any area where you are feeling repeatedly in conflict with yourself at some level, or you think you're angry at them or frustrated with them, if there's a pattern of it, right? Not if you just bump up against it on a Tuesday afternoon, once every 6 months, but if it's a consistent pattern. Because what happened, I think, to Priscilla, or part of what happened, this is only my interpretation, of course, but over time, it appeared that she was very lonely in the relationship, and that as he became more of a superstar, he and his posse, and his staff, everyone really, put a lot of boundaries in her life and told her how this and that was going to go. And what happens when that happens in our lives, and you don't have to be a celebrity to have this happen, right? Some of you have had this happen. I've had this happen where I started to disappear in my first marriage. Like, I literally felt like I was disappearing, as if my thoughts, my ideas, my needs, my wants, my vision for my life had no bearing whatsoever on his life. And so I hardly knew I needed to be there, other than to be his so-called, I don't like the term trophy wife. I don't think he would have ever called me his trophy wife. But, the person, I was there to look good, like to be his wife and to make us look good, like a healthy, functioning family, he and I and our kids and everything. I'm a trophy wife. Oh gosh, that's hilarious. So let's roll it back around. So when Priscilla began to make some of her own decisions and actually acknowledge some of her own needs. I mean, she, in the movie, she is portrayed as trying to say to Elvis, but what about this? Or I need that, or I miss you. I'm lonely for you. When can I join you on the road? I'd really like to do this or that, or whatever, or I like these kinds of clothes. She put in her opinions, she put in her perspective. And if he disagreed, his way was the way. And that was part of how I think she loved him. Like, she was like, okay, I love this man. I love taking care of this man. I love supporting this man. He's the love of my life. So, okay, I'll wear this dress, the one he likes, instead of the one I like. I'll stay home if he doesn't want to join him on the tour. I'll take, handle things here while he handles things there. I'll turn a blind eye when I see all this news of possible affairs and things like that. And anyway, so when she started to actually do things she wanted to do and sort of take the lead in her life, quite a few years into knowing him, that's when they separated and eventually divorced. And so again, like, we always have a choice. That's what I want you to remember, is that we always have a choice in how we create that balance in our lives. For me, with my first marriage, it eventually, after 22 years and many, many of those feeling like I was insignificant, what I thought, what I needed, what I felt, was insignificant. I mean, it was decades of that, many, many years of feeling that way. I finally decided that was it. I couldn't keep doing it just because I loved this man and just because I wanted to keep our family together, because I was losing my health. I was losing my sanity and had to, move forward with what I felt was important for my life. And I have done that in other relationships as well. And others, yeah, I've done that in other relationships as well, where I realize, wow, I just, my needs don't matter here. And they have consistently not mattered. I am not heard. I don't feel supported in a way that feels good. Why am I in this relationship? Why am I working with this person? Why am I in a friendship with this person? Why am I in a dating relationship with this person? Why do I keep banging my head against the wall in this relationship with this family member? It's not worth it at some point anymore, and only you can decide that. So, and it's okay to put up strong boundaries. It's okay to stop tolerating what perhaps you've been tolerating for years in any situation. It is imperative. It is imperative that you love yourself enough to let yourself live your life. It is your life to live. It's imperative that you live it how you see fit. And relationships come and they go. They come and they go. And it's okay. You'll be okay no matter what. As long as you honor yourself enough to live your life as you see fit. So that's my encouragement for you. That's kind of heavy for a Monday, isn't it? Kind of heavy for a Monday. And join me on Wednesday when I interview Melissa Snoots, who is a former client of mine and who also talks about her journey and how, and a theme from her is we always have a choice as well. So I hope you'll take time to listen to that on Wednesday. And if you want a free midlife strategy session, some coaching with me, 30 minutes, no pressure, no obligation, but an experience where you can share with me where you're stuck in your life, what's going on, what is holding you back in your life. You want to be happier, then let's get started by you going to timewithcindy.com, finding a time that works in your schedule, and we'll just have a conversation. And I'll do what I can to present ideas on how you might move forward based on what you tell me about where you're at. So timewithcindy.com, and go live your lives out there in a healthy way, in an honest, healthy way. And we will all be the better for it when we do this. And I will talk to you again soon. Bye-bye. Thank you so much for listening to the Life Makeovers podcast. Please like, subscribe, and share this podcast with those that you think would also benefit from what we're doing here. And I will talk to you again soon.